Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, but this is the best Kimetsu no Yaiba chapter we've had in, well, ever. The final fight versus Muzan was solid, but as an ending to the entire Demon Slayer series, it would have fallen short for what was needed to neatly wrap up one of the fastest selling manga of the decade. The final part of Kimetsu no Yaiba would have been called Lackluster, but with one chapter, the supposed last arc has been entirely turned on its head. Tanjiro being brought back to life by a hug from Nezuko would have been weak. Who needs a happy ending? Tanjiro dying as collateral damage for taking down Muzan would have been adequate and arguably the second best ending route. But Tanjiro being turned into Muzan incarnate, oh boy, this is the best possible story beat. Plot twist, whatever you want to call it. This is Gotoge's writing at its finest. What's worse than losing your brother to the King of Demons? Your brother slaughtering you and the rest of your friends and becoming the King of Demons. Before I start the chapter breakdown, I'll just mention that I'm doing the predictions for next week's chapter in a follow-up video tomorrow, as there is an arse ton of stuff to cover. Okay, so this chapter opens up with Muzan's deathbed self-reflections, his last will and testament, and it almost humanizes him. And I say almost as it's pretty damn convincing, with him crying in floods of tears, as he talks about passing on his life mission to Tanjiro, that being to destroy the Demon Slayers and conquer the sun. The narrative goes further into depth about how weak he was from the beginning, having been assumed a stillbirth, only making a peep just before being cremated. Again, humanizing Muzan and giving us a reason to feel a little sorry for him is great writing, as it allows more evil emphasis to be placed on Tanjiro. Not that the artwork needs a supplement to make him look any more menacing. Look at him. Enter Tanjiro, the second Kamado family demon. First and foremost, we can see the lump of cells on Tanjiro's forehead has been absorbed, likely triggering the transformation. And with monstrous speed, Tanjiro instantaneously regenerates his arm, swiping at the nearest Kakashi, likely to have decapitated him if it wasn't for the quick thinking of Tomioka Gyu, saving their life. And then we get a close-up of Tanjiro that shows just how far into depravity he's fallen. Drooling with bloodlust, pointed claws, bared fangs, and grinning ear to ear with malice. It's unclear if any of Muzan's consciousness has imparted onto Tanjiro, or if it's just Muzan's primal drive and instincts to kill. We also see that Tanjiro's markings have again evolved, this time mirroring that of Upper Demon Moon 1 Kokushibo, with his forehead mark further elongated and a second mark spreading from his neck diagonally upwards, on the opposite side of his face. This could be a trait of Demon Slayers turned demon, or at least those using Breath of Sun or similar, like Breath of Moon. And undeniably, it is a little spooky seeing Tanjiro fight without a sword in this feral frenzy. It's hard not to draw comparisons against Muzan when Tanjiro's eyes are so similar, both when detailed with the slitted pupils and when sketched roughly and in a down-slanted, pupilless, menacing glare. It's worth noting in this chapter, Tanjiro doesn't seem to speak. There is one speech or thought bubble next to Tanjiro in one panel when he grows back his arm, but it's unclear if it was from him or someone else, translating to roughly, "How can that be?" or something similar. We find Zenitsu completely spent and wondering just how cruel life can be as he watches on from the sidelines. Tanjiro turns his attention to Gyu, going in for the kill, however Inosuke is there to parry the attack, saving him. Tanjiro starts getting melted by the sun. Gyu calls for him to be held in the light in an attempt to end him, but Tanjiro counterattacks and makes for a dash to recover in the shade. This feels like a throwback to the first volume, with Gyu mercilessly attacking Nezuko, and maybe he's right, a demon is but a demon. I had also half expected Tanjiro to gain a resistance to the sun, like sister like brother, but it's far from the case, as Tanjiro is getting stripped to the bone in a matter of seconds. Inosuke goes in for his own counterattack and actually finds an opening with his blade inches from Tanjiro's neck. And we find ourselves in a flashback where the three musketeers promise to slay each other if they are turned. And you'd think that this would strengthen Inosuke's resolve, but it doesn't, and he chickens out. I'm going to leave my thoughts on the next chapter for my predictions video tomorrow, on Saturday, as I have a ton of ideas, but what I will say is I really want Tanjiro to get his hands dirty right now and take a life. Whether it's a Kakashi or somebody close to him. It would give so much weight to this plot beat, and we would either see him struggle with the fallout as he reverts, or if he doesn't revert and we watch his friends make a real tough choice. Alright, that'll do it. This was Anime Fried Chicken. Subscribe for Demon Slayer videos straight to your feed. I do discussion videos on all sorts of anime and manga through the week and cover Demon Slayer and Black Clover on the weekends. Tomorrow will be the Kimetsu no Yaiba 202 predictions video, and hopefully I'll catch you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.